Hi guys, I'm Jen, and if you followed me from the other channel, we're gonna find out what's going on with your creativity and what's closing that shit down. Let's find out. Okay, first we're gonna get the shadow deck, because shadow decks are things that we don't want to look at, we don't want to promote, we don't want to make other people aware of it. It's like something we kind of hide under our coat. So let's find out what's going on with your shadow aspects here. Commitment, devotion, and gesture. Someone wants to express themselves romantically. Commitment and devotion. Making things official. Okay. I feel like this is for you to where, what do you commit yourself to? Where's my other deck? This one. Let's find out more about you. What's this commitment about? Show me that. Impartiality. It's like riding the line. It's like you're just not willing. You don't make any major moves. You're comfortable, but you're uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean? It's like carrying. I always see this, like carrying two paint cans like that is not easy. It's like you're gonna start to feel it in your arms when you're carrying that around. Oh, so you have a lot of weight on your shoulders. That's where you would feel that, right in here. So for one, while you're watching this video, if you feel like it, start working that area. And I use like this. This feels really good when you do this. When you take your hands and just pull that muscle forward over that area, that's gonna feel good right there. Okay, so you've got this content smile, but you're not content, obviously. Tell me more about this gesture. So I feel like this gesture is you, and you're just like not doing it. And the forgiveness card is in reverse. So there's something from childhood that you're unwilling to forgive. You've been carrying this around with you for a while. You're committed to this lack of forgiveness. Okay, let's find out about that. What are you unable to forgive in life? What are you unable to forgive in life? Someone who undid something for you. Okay, this could be either someone who undid something for you, or there's two people in here. Are you the undoer, or you're the builder? What are you carrying in those paint cans? What are you carrying in those paint cans? The ego's doom. It's like all the doors are open, but you're staying in the cage. Because you've been taught to stay in the cage. You know, someone told you it's safer to stay in the cage than come out of the cage. Because out in the cage, nothing can get in and harm you. It's fear. This is a cage of fear. What's in the other can? Resurrection. Waking up. It's like you want to, because this person is coming out of the cage. They're just starting. So you're just starting to wake up to this. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'll give you some time to rub the sleep out of your eyes. Maybe get a coffee, and you're just waking up after something. Okay, tell me more about this. I want to know who this lack of forgiveness is towards. Show me that. Self. You have a lack. Oh, you can't forgive yourself. Like you're punishing yourself. You see how this man, I don't mean to this be a trigger. I personally don't see issues with triggers because I find them helpful. That's just me, but other people may be triggered, so that's the only reason why I'm saying that. I like the triggers. The triggers have shown me where I'm holding pain, so like that's for me, but not everyone is like that. So like this is someone who's cutting on the wrist. And I just see like there's we play what is that? Brawlers, and there's like this one character, Edwin I think it is, who keeps hitting his head with a scarf, like, so it's just like stupid kind of thing, like, but I don't know, but you're in denial about this. You're like, yeah, I'm good, I'm okay, but you're not okay. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something a little different. I don't know how long this is gonna take because some of these take so long, but I want to. Okay, first of all, you got my attention, girl. What kind of how do you know if this is you? Show me how your body reacts right now. How is your body reacting right now? You're using drugs, alcohol, or cigarettes. Okay, show me more about this. Show me like a physical symptom that you're experiencing. A physical symptom you're experiencing. Oh, maybe you're hungover here. Okay. Stealing. You're having to steal. I don't always steal. This money is like taking from mommy's purse, but like maybe you take from women. maybe take from other people. This is like also like using manipulative behaviors to get something that you want instead of just going out and making the money for yourself. Feeling disgusted, dirty, gross, or broken. And it's kind of over the cage. Okay, let me see what else we got here. Show me your emotional place. Show me your emotional place where you're bored. You're bored and disgusted. Look at that. You can't make this shit up. Disgusted and then bored. Stress is on the bottom, but it's in reverse. So I don't feel like, you know, like there's like an invisible shield over her like that, but or him, I don't know. And I think it's a her. But it's like, so for me, when I had hormones happening in my body, I was like, I associate with female hormones. But then I got to a point where I'm like, I think this might be cortisol, the hormone cortisol that's affecting my body. But like, you just, because you're able to remain calm in certain situations, you're like, I'm not stressed. Stress looks like this. Stress looks like losing my temper all the time. But does it? Like, maybe inside you're feeling that way, but you're not showing it on the outside. So like, that's where I think sometimes people get like, I'm not stressed, you know, but maybe you are. Because I think we need to look at how stress actually shows up in the body. And it's not always like, for me, like losing your temper, that's an emotional response. But this is a hormonal response, which would be different than an emotional, because you're like, you know what, like you're doing too much, but you have to remain solid because, you know, you don't have the luxury of like losing your shit, because if you lose your shit, anything that's on your shoulders at the time is going to fall off your shoulders. And now you got to pick it back and put it back up there. And you're the one, anytime you lose your shit, it's like you're the one that has to pick everything back up again. Right? Could be. I don't know if that's the case though. What do you discuss? I don't know if it's responsibilities that you're not, it's not responsibilities that, okay, sorry, I got that wrong. It's your inner emotions that you're trying to tie in there. That's what it is. You're trying to act like your waist is cinched in here while you're carrying 2 paint cans. You've got this constricted material around your legs, so you can't even barely move your legs. But like, that's by design, because like you couldn't walk that fast anyways, because you lose your breath because you got like some sort of like thing around your waist. And it's like, it's like you can't breathe in or exhale. That's why the line is there, like where you just woke up and like the line started on the monitor started going again. But it's like you've just been so bored that you haven't been doing anything. Okay, so like, let's see. Yeah, it's like you're committed to doing nothing. And so some people might like, how do you get stressed from doing nothing? Because you're so bored. Okay. What do I want to look at for here? What? I don't know. I don't know how to do this. I know there's some people who just don't feel emotions. How do we crack that code? What deck do I want for that? How do we crack that code? Ooh. Okay. How do we crack this code? How do we crack this heart? How do we crack this pain? Victim consciousness. Sellout energy. And what this is like, it's almost like because you refuse to earn your own money or learn to, or put yourself in that sort of like student mindset. Now, instead of the student mindset, you somehow find it easier to be in a victim consciousness, which just is, there's always a problem. There's always a problem. It doesn't matter what, like, you know what, someone could give you something, they could give you an answer, and you're like, well, now I have to do this. Yeah, you do. That's life. That's what we're all doing. Not all of us, but that's the idea. It's like to to put yourself in that position and start doing it. Because once you actually start putting yourself in that position and taking the action, not only are you working for yourself, but you're also getting an idea of what it feels like. And then like it also helps with when you put yourself in other shoes, then these are other people's shoes, and it gives you like, oh, that's what it feels like. It gives you the experience that you're looking for. You lack confidence because you lack experience, but you lack experience because you stay stuck, you stay seated, you don't choose anything. You don't, like, you'd rather conflict your, like, give yourself pain and pretend like you're okay than you would rather do anything but grow right now. That's what it is. You're like waiting for something to happen for you, but you're just wasting your hours. You're just sitting there like nothing's happening. You have to make something happen. And then God comes in, and like, that's why God is a co-creator. You know, like, you're waiting for a miracle from God, but that's not how it's worked for me. Like, I've had to got up and like, okay, what do I got? What can I do with this? You know, and I don't always have a lot of things, but I have enough to make something of it. And especially with the experience, like what we have today in the world, like, you can be a creator and make money off that. Like, there are ways to make money, and it seems scary because there are ways that you can't make money with the way you used to, but you just got to learn how to do differently and evolve. And the first step is putting yourself in that student mindset where, what if I don't know? What if I need to learn something new? What if you have to learn something new? Is that going to be horrible? Oh, because you're like, what, 40, 50, and you don't want to learn something new? Why not? Lots of people do that. That's what entrepreneurs are doing. They're constantly learning something new. They're always trying different things. That's what people do. We're meant to grow and learn and not just stop just because you're 20. You know, just because you got your full height at 24, whatever, that does not make you a grown-ass adult. We're meant to continually learn until the day of our death. You know, like, this is, you're like a damsel in distress over here. That probably doesn't feel good. You probably don't like that. Do you want to keep fooling yourself? Do you want to keep pretending? Okay, I can get a different card out here. Oh, look, you're just this wonderful peacock, you know, brightly colored, you know. No, but this could be you. This could be you. It's just underneath this, you know? Okay. I just picked up this card. A message is trying to reach you. Be vigilant. The spirit world wishes to find and touch you. She's in that black dress. This is victim conscious. It doesn't say that, but, and it's 37, so that'd be the number 10. So like, you can end this cycle if you choose to. You got to choose to. So tell me more about this victim consciousness. Yeah, pay attention to the signs. Another number 10 card. You want this cycle to end. This cycle wants to end. You just have to choose to do something new, okay? So what deck? Let's get the life purpose deck. That can be helpful because, like, when I was just starting into the spiritual aspect of myself, like, I was terrified of doing anything, and so I would put myself out there. Even going to a paint class with my daughter seemed like I had social anxiety because the people I'd been around were unkind people, and so like I had that underlying fear. And then I was like, I don't want to be judged. This seems hard. How am I gonna get my painting to look like that? So I'm just looking for that deck. And then I just did it, and I'm like, oh my God, that teacher showed me how to make my painting look amazing. Where is my deck? What is going on here? And so what I thought was a lesson to go see about, oh, there it is. Maybe I shouldn't put there. What I thought was a lesson to go learn how to paint and like get a new hobby was actually a lesson that was showing me that not all teachers are short-tempered, impatient. Like, I had horrible teachers growing up. And so that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to learn, because I'm just like, I felt like if you have the teachers of your past teaching you today, that's not going to work. You need to do something different. You need different teachers. And you might think like, but that's what's going to happen for you. You know, not the windfall right now. It's like you're going to be provided the teachers that you need that are going to help you grow. And what that looks like is having someone who's patient and kind and nurturing, and somebody who knows what that looks like. And that's going to be your miracle. Okay, what do you need to focus on here? What's going to help you get into teacher mode? Yeah. Artist and support. Okay, that is perfect. So engaging in artistic activities is beneficial to your career and every other area of your life. Your life purpose fully supports you. Okay, if somebody's going to make some wings and paint them like that, you have to let me know. I want a pair, okay? And even these ones are pretty. Look, I don't know. Maybe that's going to be, you know, I've got enough cards. Maybe I need to start collecting wings because those are so pretty. Okay, so enough about me. This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's artist, like an artist, and then support. So like when I went there to do that, that's how I got support. So like and it showed me also, it built some confidence within me, because I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know I could do this. If I can do this, maybe I can do something else. You know, and then it makes you think like, with the right teacher, I can learn what I need to learn. So like all these things just from one art class. And then it was getting me out of my bubble. You know, it's getting me into a new crowd. I didn't meet anybody from there, or it was just me and my daughter. But like for me and my daughter, that was a great experience that we got to share. But then like we were doing it together, and I was showing her by example, like this is like how you push past like things that you're scared of. And I still have a few things like, you know, there's one where, I won't get into it, but it's just, it's not about conquering everything in one step. It's like doing this gradually and building momentum. And when you build those tools, you develop them, then you can use them in other areas as it gets more challenging. And so those more challenging areas, we're not looking at those right now. We're looking at like just starting off with baby steps, because what happens, what you can't see yourself doing down the line, you actually, like, you need these steps to build a confidence, so that when you get down to the end of the line where the windfall is, you have no problem stepping up into that. And it's called development for a reason. You're developing the stages in life that you need to accumulate so that you can grow and mature into that successful individual. But the problem is, there's something in childhood. You didn't receive this in childhood, so now you have to give it to yourself as an adult. And that's where the judgment needs to be removed, because like you're letting other people judge you. Like this is like going back to learn how to ride a bike at the age of 50. And being afraid of what other people are going to think. Like, who cares? Do you know how fun it is to ride a bike? You're going to miss out on riding a bike because you care about, you know, judgy Johnny down the road. He's miserable. Who cares? He's committed to being judgmental because he judges himself. And so he can't get out of that cycle of like judging himself. So like, do you want to become like judgy Johnny or Judy, or do you want to like do yourself a favor and like allow yourself to grow and give yourself that gift? See, like that's a gift. Growing experiences, those are gifts for people. You know, items and consumerism, that's just masking. That's just distraction. That's just, you know, it's nice to have some nice things, but like, and I'm not one to talk. I have a whole shelf of cards here. I had to learn too. That was the thing for me where I'm like, I had to learn how to stop buying decks of cards, because I just love the images, right? They're so pretty. And like the artwork, I was so impressed by the artwork. I'm like, how do people do this? And like put this aesthetically together. And then I started learning about colors and like, I mean, maybe not today, but my budget's a little tight. But I would, when I had to go buy clothes at a thrift store, it helped me to learn how to put myself together more aesthetically, in my opinion. Some people might disagree, and that's okay. I like what I wear, that's all that matters. And so I would learn how to like put things together. And then I started learning color schemes within my house and like how to kind of match it so it would flow more. Because for me, I really don't enjoy, like, I want a smooth environment, but that feels cozy. I don't like things that are like popping out of nowhere. I like it to flow. For me, in my mind, it helps. And I like minimalism. And I prefer organization and closed cupboards. That just helps my mind relax. And so you see how one thing led to the other, so that it started with the art and having a teacher to teach me how to do just a piece of art. Like, I wasn't looking to be an artist. I just enjoyed the idea that, oh my God, they're going to show us how to make this painting. We get to bring it home. Like we do that. Like, it's so weird. And one of them was really pretty. It was like, I ended up kind of growing out of them, but they were, one was like, like an elk in the forest at night with a moon on it. So it was really pretty. And then one was a lion's head, and it was really pretty. So yeah, there are things where it's just like you don't see like where they're taking you, and that's part of learning how to trust yourself, and learning how to trust spirit, and there's gonna be times where you feel like spirit's not trustworthy. That's part of it, and you're allowed to say that. There's some things that people just put some weird associations with, like God is this like arrogant, ignorant asshole up there, and it's just like we can't say certain things and we can't feel certain ways. And it's like, you're allowed to get angry at God. It makes sense. You don't understand. You're not up there. You can't see the whole picture. So like when I'm down here and me and God are in a fight, like I don't feel bad for, well, sometimes I do feel bad because I'm like, fuck, okay, I shouldn't have reacted so quickly, right? Like I should have known you had my back this time. But there's also a time where God remembers the times when he didn't have my back, and I still did really strong there. And you know what I mean? Like I just don't, God's working with you like a coach, and the coach has been where you've been. So for me, it's just like, that's how our connection is. It's not like, oh God, God's going to get mad at me for this. Like, I just don't see it like that. It's like a parent. Like, is there going to be disappointment? Maybe, disappointed. But at the same time, like God wants good things for you too. And so like some of the things that we have to experience, in my opinion, are things that like when you have something happen to you, it shows you like the roadmap, like the landmarks along the road. Negative emotions. It shows you like, okay, why is that coming up for me? And then I've been here before. This looks familiar. I've been around this bend before. Why am I coming around here? Because it's meant for you to like compare. Like I'm doing the same thing. And that's where there are times people will convince themselves, like I've done this, where I'm convinced I'm doing something different, and I'm doing different, and then I'm doing the same thing. It's like where you convince yourself like, I'm getting out of the 9 to 5, so I'm going to move into the direction of me. And that sounds wonderful and empowering. But then I'm like, okay, well, then why am I still settling along the way for jobs that are still not me? Because it's like I'm showing God, like, I don't trust you. I don't trust you, or I don't trust myself that I can get myself out of this situation. And now I had to have a couple go rounds before I could get that confidence to step onto that next tier. But these are all things to like recognize where I had to like, in the moment, I had to like analyze, like, am I doing it again? Like what, like, do I really want this? Do I really want a 9 to 5? Do I really want like, if I'll be like, if I have to do this kind of job to get to this sort of outcome, I'll do it. But if there's a better way around it, that's the option that I want. And then you just get insights for that, because I'm open for that other door. I'm not just closing that other door saying not right now. I'm saying I want this, but if I have to do this in the meantime, I'll do it, because that just shows like I'm willing to do the work in order to get what I want. Like I'm in it just as much as God's in it. So we got to be in it together, right? And so like I got to show up just as God's got to show up. But if I'm not showing up, God's not going to God's got other things to do. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you got to show up for yourself. And because if you can't show up for yourself, you can't expect other people to do it. And if you can't help yourself, you can't expect that from other people. You know what I mean? Like you're not even invested in yourself. Why would I invest in you? And so like if you're struggling with love and things like that, then it's like because you're not invested in anything. You're just like a paper bag blowing in the wind, or a plastic bag blowing in the wind. Like wherever the wind will take you, that's where you're going. And that's not going with the flow. That's lost. Lost is part of the path. That, because you have to learn how to find yourself amongst all this mess. And that's the whole goal, is finding yourself in it, to find out like, what do you really want? No, don't talk about what your neighbors want. Don't look what your brother wants. Don't look what your family is doing. What do you want? What do you want out of life? What feels good for you? And going in that direction, even if it feels unsafe, because the more you get in the direction of you start to build confidence. You feel safer and safer, and you're going to be shown why you should be going in that direction in the first place. But it starts with having an open mind, because that's the creativity is in the paintbrush, but it's also in the mind. It's like, okay, how am I going to develop this now? How am I going to get there? You need to find out ideas like what works for you, because you're unique, right? So your situation is going to be very different from mine, but there's going to be a lot of similarities on like how we attain that, in my opinion. And so like whatever I can tell you in my in my path, what I've used to help get me there could be beneficial for you. So that's why I share, because like you could be an artist. Maybe you do want to do something healing and supportive with your artwork. I don't know anything about art. I don't know much about it. I wish I did. Like, I wish I could paint like some of these people, but it's just not my thing, you know? So like that's your thing. You see, it's your thing. And then you get to partner up your art with something else, like support or healing or housing or inspiration or teaching, or like there's so many different things that you can add into this, and then you can add different elements. Like I've seen people that use like thick paint to make like 3D art. Like, how interesting is that? And then there's people that make rugs, but they're like all different textured rugs, and they're all different thicknesses. So like, to say you can't do what you're doing and is on your mind is a lie. You're lying to yourself. Somebody has lied to you in the way that they're telling you that you are stuck. It's all up in your mind. This victim conscious is just up in your mind. So that's why you need to start opening it. And that's why you need to start dreaming. I did see the dream card, but I didn't know what it was for now. And now this is like, whatever you can dream, you can achieve. And just know that you might have to, like, maybe I thought I was going to do it this way, but you know what? I think I actually prefer to do it this way. And that's okay. Like, it's your dream. You get to design it. You're the one who's in charge. But then, like, you're also the one, like, if the pen stops, if your hand stops inventing, that's on you too, right? So if you sit there and say, I'm just going to stay stuck here, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm not going to practice, I don't like how this feels when someone tells me I'm doing something, I need to do it better, because sometimes you got to practice. That's just people. Like, when you start as a toddler, you had to practice how to walk. You didn't just get up and start walking. That would look weird. A little weird human just all of a sudden jump up and start bolting across the room. I think we call that a demon, right? So like, it's not natural for you to just get up and like be good at something. And maybe you were naturally good at other things, but that's only because you were like created to do that by somebody else. That was somebody else's agenda to get you to like be really good at being working for other people, being productive in a factory. But those are things you can then use for your project. Okay, so like, this is all about you, for you. This life really is that. So like, it's not in a selfish way. It's like, you need to be doing something for you instead of like affecting you negatively and taking from other people. Taking from other people, that's selfish. That's selfish. You're fully capable. And I don't know who told you that you weren't. Maybe it's you. Maybe you convinced yourself. But you are fully capable of doing great things. In case nobody told you, I can see it. I can sense it. I can see it out here. You got some hurdles. So does everybody else. They're just different. This is the thing. It's just different challenges. But we're all meant to do this all together. We're all meant to rise up and like do what we love. I think it's like moving back to the days where like everyone had their own little business or small business, and where we're all allowed to live like an abundant lifestyle, and we can have nice things, but we're not like, going over the top with the nice things. It's like, we don't need new decorations every season. That's a little extreme. We don't need to be changing out the colors of our house once a year. Like, we need to moderate some of these things so that everybody can win. It just doesn't make sense to like have one person living up on the castle, and dude doesn't even, anyways, I won't get into that. So this is happening for you. You are capable. What else do you need to know? Okay, let's do some, I'm going to give you some activities to start small, because that's how it starts. It starts small. And you might want to go 0 to 90, and that's going to be part of the process, is slowing you down so you're not just rushing all over the place like a mad person. You got to learn how to be more intentional with your energy and the direction that you're going. And while you have all the opportunities in the world, they're not all going to be for you. And so like, kind of getting more focused is going to be helpful as well. So like, how can you start? I don't know why this makes me laugh, but it's so, go to the toilet. Why do you need to go to the toilet? Are you constipated? My belly's going, but that's because I'm on a fast right now. I don't have to go to the bathroom though. Let's get some clarity on this. I've never had this card come up before. Go to the toilet. Tell me about this. Brush your hair. Do stand still while I brush your hair. It sounds like we got an English gent talking to us. Do stand still while I brush your hair. Okay, so maybe I gotta brush your hair. Go to the bathroom and brush your hair. Daily routines. See, student energy. Backpack. Time to learn. Tell me more about this. I still need to know about this. There's something more to this bathroom thing. Dusting. Cleaning. The detail. I feel like these are details. Okay, so it's about starting small. The dusting one is kind of like a brush. So, and then we have another brush. And then we have a toilet brush. That could be seen as a toilet. Something about brushes. So maybe do you even have paintbrushes? Like, do you even have those? So you can go get those. And you could just get them at the dollar store just to start off with. I don't think that's it. Tell me more. Tell me more about this. I'm missing something. Is your home a mess? Is that what you... Oh, maybe you need to start with your house first. Okay. Okay, so like something helpful is, if this is you, getting your house cleaned up and organized. Ooh, okay. So making a workspace. If you want to start painting, like that would be something. Like if you're really serious about this, like passionate about it. Like I wasn't passionate about it when I was going out to learn with my daughter. It was just a fun activity for us. But if this is something you're really passionate about, you need a workspace, because that says you're serious about something, right? Like I've got a card room, I've got a room where I'm going to do energy in, and then I've got my office, which is a whole other room downstairs where like all the bills and like the important stuff go, right? So like that makes sense. Like how is get your space set up to where you can organize it. Go through it if you can, and start because it's gonna organization is everything. And I'm still not even at my top level of it. Like I could even do quite a bit more. I just don't have the money to buy all the containers and things to like organize it. But for me, it's good that I don't have the money right now, because I don't know how I'm going to work this space. If I bought containers every time I move my furniture around from room to room to room, I would have furniture that I'm not using. So it's important to know how you're going to use the space first. And then once you start using it, you're going to set it up and be like, okay, well, how do I like this? Well, I don't even like this setup like this. So I think I want, this item over here, and I want my easel over there, or maybe I want it in the corner so that the sun's not hitting on it. I don't know. But like, don't feel like you need to buy everything right away in order to get started. Just like, what are you going to start? Let's start doing that. And then like when you start learning how you're going to use that space or where you're going to put it, that's when you can kind of get more invested in the furniture and spend more money. Like, but now you just need some way of doing it, right? But I feel like cleaning up your home. Okay, so another way of cleaning up your home is, if you feel like you don't have a space for this, you're going to look at in other areas of your home, be like, how am I wasting space? Do I even need... Like, this is where I don't mind having a small house, because like my bedroom is very small and I don't need a big ass bedroom. The more stuff I have to clean, you know what I mean? Like I don't enjoy cleaning. I like a clean house, but I don't like cleaning. So like try to look at your space and find out things that you don't need any longer. And items that you're just like, you know what, I don't have an interest in this. Maybe I bought it. And like, if you don't feel like getting rid of it right away, just move it out of your immediate space. Put it up in an attic or a dry basement, or bins. Like, just get it out of your immediate space. If this is something you're serious about, treat it seriously. Like get some main area living space to do this work of yours. That's what I would suggest. That's what I feel like, because like organizing containers are expensive, and so what I started with first was like just old cardboard boxes that I could find like from all my Amazon cards and stuff like that. Like I would use those boxes to like put trays in my you know, socks and underwear drawers kind of thing to keep that separate. Because like anything you can like simplify right now is going to help your mental mind. So like, I know it sounds odd, like I don't actually fold my underwear and stuff like that. I just put it in the bin. So I'm not like that far yet. I guess nobody needs to know that, but it's just like there's things where it's just like, I'm just moving in the direction. And like what happens each time is every time you go through like a refinement process, you'll just get better and better. And you'll like, I have moved my offices around, I don't know how many times. And I finally, at this moment, have them in an area where I like where everything is at. And I've lived here since, was it 2017, 2019, I think. And my kids have been here. We've changed all the rooms around. They've lived in the basement sometimes. I was not a fan, but they wanted to. And then sometimes I did need an office up there. And so they were fine with living down there. They seemed to like it. But now it's at the point where it's like, I just have everything. And I'm still kind of like revising like the shelving and the storage aspect of it. But I'm not in a rush because like I said, I don't know exactly how I'm going to, like how I want it yet. And the more holes you put in the wall, the more holes you got to fill. So like just getting your setup and where you want to do it and like what room you enjoy. Like also think of that, like the sunlight that comes in. Like, so for me, I don't love that room as much as I love this room because the sun comes in this room and I really like that aspect. And that one's kind of like shadowy, not in a bad way, just I prefer sun in my room and light. That's just my preference. And so that it made sense for that to be like an energy room. And if I ever change my bathroom, my little bathroom that's behind here, at some point I would like to move it over there so I actually can get in the bathroom and have a bigger space because I do like having a bath for you know, soaking and stuff like that. And that is something that's important to me, to have a bigger bathroom. And at that point, you know, it makes sense because it's not in the sun. And I don't spend that much time. I don't want to spend that much time in the bathroom like you. Just kidding. But like, that's something I think of. It's like, I guess what I'm also trying to pair with this too is like, for me, it was helpful to like get settled on what I wanted and start setting it up like that. But also, I don't know if this is too far, but like I have ideas for my home for the future. And I've also kind of set up my house in that way so that when those changes are, I can start making those changes. I already have how I want to put my furniture. You know, I want an island in the house at some point because I like having that big workspace and all the windows open and the light in my living room. And so the furniture is set up for that. So like if I have to remove something, I'm not going to be like, oh, what am I going to do with this? I'm like, it wasn't going to stay here anyways. This is a temporary space for that. So I don't know if that's helpful or not, but that's how I thought about it. And so when I could think about, when I was kind of setting myself up for like what I want to build in the future in my home, it also allows me to think of like, well, where do I want to put this then? Like, because it's serious. It's getting like, you know what, I want an island in my house. And so like, that's where that's going to go. And so why would I put stuff around there that's like going to have a solid home there? It's not. So I got to build around that. So that's just how I think of things, because it's almost like calling it in, because I'm like, I'm setting up a space for it. Like it's not empty. It's just a movable piece of furniture that I'm not too set on being there. Like I can find another space for that, you know. And the more I get more like decisive on like where I wanted my furniture to be. Like I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, okay, I'm good with, because I used to switch my furniture all the time. That was like a hobby of mine, is moving shit around. And honestly, I got so tired of it. And I got to the point like, I'm tired of shoveling shit. That's what it felt like. I was shoveling shit around my house because I'm just like, why am I moving this? Why? And so like instead of moving it from space to space to space, when I got clear on what I wanted, like what I really wanted, then I could find a space for that. And it could, a resting spot. So like I built shelves in my basement, but before that I had all these boxes kind of sitting around the furnace, but it had space to breathe, but it was still like visually, and something felt off about it. But when I tucked it under the stairways and made like a shelving unit there with 2x4s that I had and it was going to use for something else, but not in the meantime, then it allowed me to like make that basement feel more visually calming. And now it's organized. Now I have a better idea of where those things are, but they're also off the ground. So now it makes it easier to clean. So when you do this organizing and like really get focused on what you want, it's helpful because now you get everything in place. And now it makes it easier to clean. And like you declutter stuff that you just don't need. Like if you got to dust it, and you don't really want to, you're going to get rid of that shit real quick. You're like, honestly, I went through a purge and I was pissed off. I'm like, why do I even have this? So if you're not saying, why do I even have this? Like, you're not just there yet. So when you get so sick of the shit in your house that you're just like, I don't need this, I don't want that. That's stuff you bought that you just don't, need. I have a workout room and I don't use that equipment quite yet, but I know I'm going to use it, because you also got to look at like, when will I use this stuff? I will use this. I do want to use this. I just haven't made the time yet because I don't have the energy. That's very different than like getting rid of something that you're just like, I don't even like this anymore, So I hope that was helpful and not confusing. If you need more clarity, let me know. And then I'm gonna get one more deck here. This deck is it's really actually helpful. It gives you a lot of different things and different levels of challenge, and in different areas of like growth, community. I think it's like time management, and little things that you can push yourself past that level. And I think this is probably the deck I used where I got the same recommendation, even though I don't know if I got it from here. I could have. But I'd always wanted to try those painting things anyways. I just thought it was awesome how like we're starting at a blank canvas, and how do we get there? So that's part of your problem too. Could be thinking like, how do I get where I want to be? Like that's extreme. Well, because it's a bunch of little brush strokes on your canvas, and then you end up with a masterpiece, which is you. But it doesn't happen overnight. Just like an artist, like if I had to learn all her skill sets on my own to then paint something, if I want to be an artist, that's what you got to do. Right? There's going to be, you got to learn all the different tricks and whatever there is to painting that I don't know anything about. But like, I'm sure there's like, I remember seeing someone like they sketch it out first. Like, I wouldn't think you'd sketch it out first. To me, I'd be freehanding it personally, but I don't know anything about it. Right? So it makes sense that like something in that sketch is helping that person lay out the painting in order to, and then I don't even know. Honestly, it blows my mind how somebody sees something and can recreate something like that on a canvas. Mind blown. If that's you and you can do it, I'd love you to share your techniques for others. And this is what this life is about: sharing, connecting. Like what helped me can help you. It may not, but it could. So like, why not share? Share knowledge, share education. Try healthy alternatives, okay? This is a lot of homework for you. I hope you're writing this shit down. Try healthy alternatives. Upgrade 2 items in your current diet to healthier alternatives. Small, achievable changes are a lot less daunting than going on a diet and can make a big difference in your health over time. Some ideas include changing white bread to whole wheat bread, white rice to brown rice, or whole eggs for white egg whites. I wouldn't suggest egg whites. Not unless you need to add more protein. Those egg yolks, I don't agree with the card. There are times when I don't always agree with my cards. The yolk is actually good for you. It's a lot of vitamins in there. When was this? This is printed in 2020. How dare you? Okay, so you could also add a daily piece of fruit, add beans to your breakfast, or select a lower percentage fat dairy product. Some fats are good for you too, so I don't know if I agree with that. Google healthy food items or food substitutes for a big list to choose from. Stick to it for at least 6 weeks. Okay, so you see how I just kind of like that I didn't agree with that. I mean, there's some good ideas in there. That's life, where like some people are gonna say like, you should do this and you should do that. But like, I don't know if I agree with that. I agree with healthier eating, yeah, I do. But what they're doing for them, I don't know if I agree with that. And that's what you're meant to do. You're meant to like learn, like take the basics and then make it your own. Start at the bottom and learn the skill, learn the brush strokes, the color, whatever you got to do, whatever you got to learn. And then you, when you get out and on your own, like you make it your own, you put your own twist on it. What is egg whites for one is egg yolks and whites for some. So like, and I don't even eat bread. So like, you know what I mean? It's just going to be things that you just have to tweak and make your own. And that's where the confidence comes, because like, and that's where the vulnerability comes. Like when I first put my online business on Facebook amongst all my peers, I posted it and then I dropped to the floor because I was in the bathroom, my little bathroom, like a closet, I guess. And I dropped to the floor and I burst out crying because I was just like, it felt so vulnerable because I didn't share this side to anybody. Like people knew at some point that I was leaving, but they didn't know exactly what for. And I hadn't like been posting any of this on my page previously. So like, for me, it felt like a big shock because I'm like, it felt like there are spiritual aspects to the spirituality that do seem odd, and they were odd. looking back. And so that makes sense. But like I had to take that first step, what, right or wrong, I had to take that step and put myself out there. And be open to criticism, because there's going to be people who want to criticize you just because they're Judge Judy and Judge Johnny down the street. I don't know anyone down the street that's judgy. But you know what I mean? Like just because they're miserable, they're just going to come looking for a reason to rain on your parade. Then that doesn't mean like what you're doing is wrong. It just means somebody's miserable. And so like, you know, be aware of like how you allow others to like try to make you feel some sort of way because they're feeling some sort of way. So, but also I like this, try health alternatives. It's saying upgrade 2 items in your current diet. Maybe you're just starting off with 2 different types of sketching. You know, like you're like, well, I gotta learn all this, how to be an artist. Well, just like maybe what are you really drawn to in art? And start learning those techniques. And like you're gonna wanna learn those because like you have an interest in it. Like maybe there's a type of art that you love, and like you want to learn how to do that type of art, that skill set, I guess, that technique. But like you maybe then once you learn it, you're like, wow, wouldn't that be cool? It's like having a recipe. You know, whenever I make lasagna, I add way more ground beef because I want way more protein in there. You know, and I add some extra veggies because I want some veggies. And maybe I'll make the noodles with eggplant instead of pasta, you know. But I'm using the recipe of the lasagna, and I'm just implementing and adding other things and substitutions that apply to me. And that's kind of what you're going to do, is like you're just going to learn. And then as you learn and get more confident, you're like more comfortable with the techniques and things, you're going to be like, hey, maybe what would happen if I tried this? And that's how people learn how to do new things. And even if you're doing something like that is similar to somebody else, like make sure you're not copying, but make sure it's just an inspiration. You're just like for me, I use cards, but I barely use tarot cards. But a lot of these oracle cards can, you know, reflect like the tarot. But at the same time, like when I go into tarot land, like it's all tarot decks. So am I gonna like not make a reading because I resonate more with oracle decks than tarot decks? No, I'm not gonna do that because I know I'm skilled. I know I have talent. I know I have value. If someone wants to sit here and watch my cards and be like, you're not using tarot decks, you're not a tarot reader, I don't really give a shit. It means they're looking for something to find fault in instead of looking for the value of something. And that tells me a lot about that person. Right? I'm not hurt. I don't care. I love what I do. So you just got to get that confident where it's like, you know, it's important to like say like, do I need to do more work? Do I need to practice more? Okay, maybe that's true. But at the same time, don't let anyone tell you what you're doing is wrong. Like unless it's against the law, you know, unless you're hurting somebody else. Like you're doing what feels good for you. And this is art. Art is like, you know, art can show up in food. It can show up in buildings. It can show up, that's what I mean, like creativity isn't just a paintbrush, but it's part of it, right? It's just like opening your mind to like making things work. Maybe you're somebody who like does something differently and they learn how to make things better. They know how to make things more efficient. Maybe you, I don't know, I'll stop because it's getting long, but you get the idea. Like it's just not, there's so many, but you got to get in the art to start making the art. So if you're just standing at the sidelines, you probably got all this pent up energy that's creativity, and like you just got to put it onto a canvas. And that's where like maybe like I said, just signing up for one of those art classes is going to be the opening the door and just being like, okay, oh, this feels good, I just had to do this. And then you're going to get home, you're like, you know what, I don't like that they had us painting a line. I prefer, you know, something a little bit more abstract. Is that a term? You know what I mean? Like you don't have to know everything about everything. Like maybe it inspires you to be like, you know what, I don't really like how they did this, but I think this could be cool. And that's just how it goes. And then you start getting an interest and a passion. And then when your passion starts building, now you have a purpose because you can put it onto something, you know? And you can bring joy to other people. That can be part of your purpose, or you know. So like you don't have to have all the answers right at the get-go. Like you just gotta invest in yourself and believe that you can do something more than what you're doing, and move in that direction slowly. You're gonna have to step back sometimes. That's expected. That's part of the process. I might have missed something back here. I thought I was better at this, but it was maybe like I did it the first time and I was really good at it, and when I go in to do it again, I couldn't recreate it, so now I have to go back. And I thought I was really good, and you know, that's frustrating. Okay, that frustration is showing you patience. Give yourself patience and time to learn. Get back there. Get back at the start. You missed something. There's no harm in that. There's no embarrassment or shame in that. Learning happens in all different levels, in all different areas of life, okay? So make saving easy. The secret to developing good habits is making them really easy. So make saving some of your hard-earned money a breeze. Set up an automatic transfer for every payday from your bank account to your savings or investment account. Try starting with a small amount, and as you feel more comfortable with saving, you can increase it. Review your savings contribution in 3 months and decide if you can increase it. Sometimes you might have to decrease it. Maybe you realize I'm not making enough money to save. And then you also got to look at, why can't I save? Am I spending on things that I really don't need? Like, do I have a Spotify and a Prime account, like both subscriptions? Like, maybe you don't need that much TV time anymore. Maybe you have Prime and Netflix, and you just need one. You know, like, revise, because in this period when you're growing and learning, for me, in my experience, like, I wasn't making a lot of money. You know, like, think of people when they go to school. They're so busy. Like, if you're trying to make money and learn at the same time, it's gonna be really challenging, because like the stress of it is too much. Unless you have the money that you can live off of to learn off, that's okay. But be aware of where you're applying too much on your plate, where if the stress is a factor, it can affect how you retain information. So if you feel like you're not retaining information, you need to look at your stress levels. And if that is something, gratitude can help with that, because it actually lowers it. I think it produces oxytocin, and then it reduces cortisol, and it gets you to the blessings quicker. The gratitude really does. When you can start seeing things, remember when you're victim conscious at the beginning of this, we're like, this sucks, and I can't do this because A, B, and C, and you got the whole alphabet full of excuses. When you start saying, I can do this because I'm resilient. I can do this because I'm disciplined, or I'm driven. You know, I'm passionate. Even if you don't feel these things, these are affirmations that I do find helpful, because like, you're moving in that direction. You're opening up to that. And like, what's going to happen is you're going to find out reasons why you may not be disciplined, right? And you're going to accept it. And you're going to do something different. Okay, so I'm going to cut this off because this got really long. But I hope it was helpful. If you find this helpful, let me know. I was going to do something a little extra, but it's already extra as it is. So we're going to end it here. If you find this helpful, let me know in the comments if you're comfortable. If I missed anything, or you want more information about something, just mention it in the comments. Liking me lets me know that this is helpful to you as well. Getting the likes up is helpful, not just to support me as my channel and to help other people, but it lets me know like where to focus my time and energy, because there's other projects I want to spend time on too. And so if I feel like this isn't really getting a lot of views or a lot of likes, I'm like, oh, maybe this isn't helpful. So it is important to let me know. Feedback is helpful, and you're going to find that helpful for you too. So like, you give what you get. And so if any support I could use in getting my channel up and running, I would appreciate that. So I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, and take care. You totally got this.